What's going on, guys? What's up, guys? What's up? It's the Rock and Rising. It's the Rock and Rising. It's the Rock and Rising show. What's up, guys? It's the Rock and Rising show, and I'm your boy Rock, and this is
Justin Rising.
And welcome to the after.
We're coming at you with the after show, man. And we just want to talk about some things that we've been seeing over the last couple of weeks. And it's not really like news because it's already happened. So there's that. We just want to talk about some of the things that we kind of missed out on over the last couple of weeks. And I do want to say there's like 20,000 people without a home now down in Louisiana. And like countless people died. So I mean, it's something that, in the news that I kind of wanted to touch on, and it's something. I don't know. I feel two different ways about it, honestly, because
Let's go with the first way.
So way number one is it is tragic. You know, it's unfortunate that a lot of people have lost their home, a lot of people have lost their livelihood, and a lot of people are displaced. But it's happened before, and that's kind of like my second way of thinking is at a point. When do you call enough? You know what I mean? Like if you're getting flooded, once every like 5 years or something like that, do you keep coming home, or like do you call that home? Do you come back to that? I'm just kind of thinking out loud. I'm not saying it's anything against those folks, because I my heart goes out to them. Because if I lost my house tomorrow,
I'd be pretty upset.
Yeah, I'd be very upset about it. And it's not even just like losing your house, but it's like losing your neighborhood. It's everything that you had, your
all
job,
the memories
your
you
car.
created.
Yeah, and my heart really does go out to them, but there's just that other side where I'm sitting thinking, it's like, would I live there? And that's kind of the second part of it.
Like after the smoke clears, would you continue to live there because you went to elementary school there, all your friends are there, or, are you willing to take that beating again? This is the second time, right? Second time that's happened.
Louisiana, yeah.
Second time. Katrina was the first, and then I'm kind of lost.
They got a lot. I mean, over the last couple of over like 1 week, they got like 4 foot of rain. Actually, it was like almost overnight, but they got like 4 feet of rainfall overnight, and then like it just continued raining on top of all that noise for the next like freaking week. So. It's completely unheard of. It wasn't like anything they could prepare for. It wasn't like, we can just like kind of like put everything together, put some boards over the windows and be done with it, like a lot of people did with Katrina, and that kind of stops you from losing quite as much. But it was something that couldn't be prepared for.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Something that's completely crazy. And then on the other side, you have one part of the country that's just floating, and the other part of the country is on fire. So right now in California, they have a lot of wildfires going on. A lot of people lost their houses to that as well. So once again,
hearts go out to you
exactly.
guys.
Losing. I mean, people lose things every day, but like not on this scale. You're talking about thousands of people without a home, whether it's been flooded and taken away just by a storm or taken away by a fire.
Are we gonna drop a couple links down there so they could?
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, we can actually drop a link for you guys to actually give to some donations. I know Red Cross
donations.
The Red Cross is looking for blood donations and things like that, and I think there's some donation lines that we can get out to you guys as well. Some information just to kind of help some of those people out down there.
Hey, and I know you guys are thinking donation. Why we gotta give? Hey, you know what? Maybe cut back on a 6-pack. You can help a family.
Really, if you
maybe cut back on a pack of cigarettes, you can help a family.
If you got it, go ahead and give. If you don't have it, then
you got it. Everybody got it, man.
On a very much lighter note, I do want to talk about the Olympics, man. That's wrapping up I think today. Wrapping up over the next couple of days at least.
Gold medals.
So talking about Rio.
Rio.
And obviously the United States is just really taking away with the lead. The last I looked at it was like last week, and we were pretty much I'm sorry. I started looking at it the first week, and we were pretty much tied with China, and then like the very next couple of days we just took off. A lot of that is owed to our U.S. swimming teams and our gymnastic teams and all the men and women down there doing a fantastic job. And we did actually want to highlight one thing with one of the swimming teams is Simone Manuel, who's the first African American woman to ever win an individual swimming competition. So she crushed it out there, got herself a gold medal, bringing it home for the U.S., but also not to say that it's the U.S. victory. She earned that. She's the best in the world at doing what she does, right. And nobody should ever take that away from that girl. So, and also we have Michael Phelps out there, obviously being the Dolphin that he is. Guys up to 28. 20, oh, yeah, you're right. 28. All right. 28 total gold medals, I think.
Total medals.
Is it total medals or gold medals?
Total medals, period.
I don't know. The dude has 6 just this year. I know last year he had like another 8 gold medals. No, I'm sorry. It's the year before the last Olympics.
Don't hold me to this. I think he only has 1 silver. 27 gold.
He has 1 silver medal just this year.
Yeah. Last the 4 years behind, he didn't get no. It was all gold.
All right. Dude's crushing it though. I mean, that's absolutely crushing it out there. And he did announce this year that he's retiring after this year. Done deal for him.
Good luck for the next person trying to pass him.
Yeah. Somebody will do it the very next time. Guarantee it. So
as far as medals, as far as overall medals.
So I mean, there's some people who are actually hanging out there up there with him with like gold medals, but not in the Olympics. But there are a lot of like medal winning athletes out there. Like Dave Mirra was one of them. Dave Mirra had like 23 gold medals in various sports and like the X Games, like doing like BMX and rally cross driving. So it's pretty cool stuff.
The question you gotta ask yourself is, why is he doing that to get to the Olympics?
Michael Phelps or no. Dave Mirra?
Yeah.
He riding bicycles in the Olympics.
Who knows? They're gonna come out with this new thing. Women's softball next Olympics.
I thought that was already in there.
No. Women's softball next Olympics.
Yeah, and then we have like something a little bit weird out there. Actually, I was reading about in the news a little while back was with what's his name, Ryan Lochte, who said that he was robbed when he was in Rio, and then turns out no, he wasn't.
Oh, it was a hoax.
He just made the whole thing up, but then he also vandalized a gas station and all kinds of crazy stuff there. I'm gonna try and throw a link in the description down below where you guys can kind of catch up if you haven't heard about it and the craziness that's going on.
I heard about it. I'm not, there's no fact. Don't hold me on it, but I heard about it that he said he got robbed at gunpoint.
Yeah,
and it was all fake.
Didn't happen.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then really quick, another shout out to Katie Ledecky, who's another one of our swimmers out there, and she has, I think, 4 gold medals the last I checked. Doing an amazing job out there herself. Just these swimming teams, man, just like really crushing it. And then you have the men's basketball team for the U.S., obviously bringing it home every single year.
And the women's.
Yeah, women's basketball team doing very well.
We took the gold.
Yeah.
They took the gold medal.
Yeah, Kevin Durant out there with a couple of gold medals.
Yeah. Sick. We're doing fantastic.
Yeah.
And it's just the Olympics, obviously it's a worldwide thing.
Yeah.
And just brings hope to our country, with this whole thing going on, Make America Great. We've been great. We've been great, man. Look, we speak for ourselves. You know what I mean? We've been great.
I mean, I will say that there's parts of this country that are not what I would consider great, but it takes
like what? Like what?
Civil rights, just in general.
I mean,
you really want to get down to it. Civil rights, just in general, is pretty wacky right now.
I mean, in every bucket of apples, are all the apples good?
Well, I'm just saying we shouldn't just say it's not a problem just because everything else is all right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I actually did want to talk about this too, because like you hear a lot about recently over the last year basically the Black Lives Matter movement, and a lot of people are saying that all lives matter, and it's like, yes, I agree with you, but nobody's disputing the fact that all lives matter. It's basically like if somebody if Rodimus over here was getting his ass kicked by somebody, just getting the shit beaten out of him, and I was like, listen, stop doing that. He doesn't deserve to be treated that way. And then some jackass comes up behind me and says, oh, no, nobody deserves to be treated that way. You're fucking right. Nobody deserves to be treated that way, but Rodimus is actually in danger right this second, right? And that's kind of where the Black Lives Matter movement is coming from, in the sense that, like, we're not saying that all lives don't matter, but we are saying that there are some that are at more risk than others. And it's exactly that analogy, is that if I'm getting my ass whooped and Rodimus is like, oh, Justin doesn't deserve to be treated that way, and then somebody else comes up and goes, yeah, but nobody deserves to be treated that way, and then acts like it's not an issue. It is not an issue. It is an absolute issue.
Yeah. So who you think would be quicker to get pulled over, me or you?
quicker to get pulled over.
Yeah.
And you want to say that this country is great and we don't have problems?
This country is great, man. It's just shitty people that don't make it great. You know what I mean? But you know, every state, every hood.
Well, let me put it to you like
has
this.
their issues. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, there's still people that are doing good things for the community.
I agree. I think being able to highlight these issues, being able to see these things, and like you see both sides of it, but at the same time, it is bringing something to the forefront that absolutely needs to be talked about.
Yeah.
Not just talked about, but acted on. But let me put this to you like this, all right? How many police officers in this state have you came across that were an asshole? Just like I mean, we're not trying to give any,
truth be told,
getting names out there.
Truth be told, none.
Okay.
I mean,
so and I think we're on the same page with that though, and that is my personal my personal experience is that I've been pulled over many times, mostly for speeding, sometimes for being in an area that I shouldn't really be in.
I act appropriately. Hey, how you doing, officer? What's going on? You know, why am I being pulled over for? And, you know, they kind of give me the explanation. And, all right, you need any information? Yeah, can I have your license and registration? Oh, my shit is legit. So, you know what? I'm gonna reach my glove compartment. My registration's there. My license is in my back pocket.
Oh, I have everything ready before they get there.
You know, so here you go, officer. You know, he goes back. Obviously, he's going to third degree me. You know, he's going to check if I got warrants and everything. Everything comes back legit. Hey, Mr. Rojas, you know, you was doing 60 on a 55, but I'm going to knock it down to, you know.
I hate that shit.
I hate it too. But it happens.
Like, oh, you're going 65 in the 55, but we're going to knock it down to 54 for you. Like, what
yeah. That's not even legit, right?
Yeah, I'm serious.
That should get thrown away. Like, I'm doing 54 and 55.
A judge did it for me before. So, like, all right, so I had some
54 and 55.
Oh, no. It wasn't actually that. It was like,
I'm just saying, that shit should get thrown away.
I had some real old T-tags on a car of mine, all right? The police officer pulled me over, and I looked straight at him in the eyeball, and I was like, you got me, bro. And I'm serious. And he was like, the tags on the back of the car, man. He was like, I can't even read the date on them. He was like, I was like, they're out of date, man. Like, they're way out of date. And he was like, all right. So he gave me 3 tickets.
Damn.
Hold on. 1 for not properly disposing of a temporary tag. 1 for having a temporary tag that was expired, and also not properly displaying a temporary tag because you couldn't read the date on it. I went to the court because I never ride with my insurance in my car. I don't know why. It's a horrible habit of mine. I had to go to the court, present my insurance, and the woman was like, what are you here for? And I was like, well, I didn't have my insurance in my car, but then I have all these things as well. And she was like, this is kind of like excessive because it's like 3 tickets for the exact same offense.
Yes.
And it would have been like $250, and she actually just dismissed the whole thing, sent me on my way.
Awesome.
So, and that's kind of the thing.
Shouts to you, Judge.
Yeah, absolutely. Judge, you're my favorite by far.
Shouts to you.
Yeah, and so I mean that's kind of like the only like bad experience I think I've had with the police department. Like, but it was maybe the guy was just trying to meet a quota.
Yeah.
But
put it on paper.
Right, and that's kind of one of the things I did want to talk about is just putting my opinion on the whole Black Lives Matter movement. It is not that like everybody's life doesn't matter because nobody's disputing that. We absolutely believe that everybody's life matters, and we don't believe that anybody's life matters more than anybody else's. But exactly. there are lives at risk on more of a daily basis skewed to one side of the spectrum that makes very little sense.
Yes.
And I think that's really the highlight that movement's trying to make.
I just think it's horrible. I think it's, people have ugly thoughts, ugly intentions, and, they abuse the power that they're giving, and they took an oath to, protect and serve. And, at the end of the day, we're not just gonna say, about officers, because there's good ones and there's bad ones. And then there's also good civilians and then there's bad civilians. There's civilians that have bad intentions, and, when bad intentions, people act on it and it just becomes a crime. And a lot of people have that in their mind, like, oh, it's not considered a crime unless you get caught. Well, guess what? You got caught and, they took action on you, and now all of a sudden Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, but
I'm just saying,
there are issues out there, but at the same time, like, You can do research. I've done some research, and there is a lot of, like I said, it's skewed to one side of the spectrum that seems a bit suspicious. And I don't necessarily believe in coincidences. I think there are, most of the time, if you see something that looks coincidental, chances are it's not a coincidence. I also wanted to get into voting. So I've been meaning to say this for a while, actually, is there's an idea that voting doesn't matter. It does, like, to a point. It absolutely matters. Your vote does count, and like, don't get me wrong there. Now, the issue that we have is what the media paints for you, and right now they're painting for you that you have two people that you can choose from, and you don't want to vote for either one of them, or maybe you do. Whatever your preference.
Or go to the ballots and write "Rock and Rising." That'd be dope.
Don't do that. We can't legally run for like another 10, 20 years anyway. Why? You have to be, I think, 35 or 45, somewhere in that area, to become the president. I think it's 40 or 40. It's somewhere up in that area, but either way, you're not old enough. So to that point, though, you can always write in a name. It is called a write-in ballot, and there's actually a third-party choice out there, and people are like, oh, I don't want to vote for a third party because I feel like I'm throwing my vote away. At the same time, if everybody who decided that they feel like they're throwing their vote away decided to vote for the person that they think is actually best qualified for the job, that person would probably actually win. So I wouldn't necessarily look at it as black and white. And if you really want to make a statement, vote for anybody besides the people that you don't think are fit to run. And I mean literally anybody. You can vote for Santa Claus. It is legal. You can absolutely do that. You would actually be throwing your vote away. But there's another guy named Gary Johnson. I can drop some information down below. And it's mostly for people who are more conservative in nature. You're not going to see like funding for Planned Parenthood. You're not going to see some of the things like that. You're not going to see.
How about if he wins?
Well, Gary Johnson?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, though, is like you're not going to really see the funding for Planned Parenthood. You're not really going to see funding for decreasing student loans or like debt forgiveness and stuff. You're not going to see that. He's a person for small government and like basically letting individual states decide what is right for that particular state. So there are some good points in there, but I feel like with the election that we have, like between the two people who are forerunners in this election, you're going. It's very polarizing. For some reason, that we have these two very opposite individuals where for some reason there's no middle ground, where you can't meet in the middle.
Basically forced.
Like one person is for gun control, the other person's against it completely. There can't be like any like compromise in the middle where like, okay, we're for some gun control under these certain circumstances. No, you can't have that. You have to be for it or against it, or
for it or against it. So you're funneled into just two avenues if you don't know what's really going on.
So and that's the thing is like there's a way of like kind of like separating this country that really annoys me because it's just that you have this idea of like, oh, if you're voting for Donald Trump, then like you're this type of person, or if you're voting for Hillary Clinton, you're this type of person. You could probably agree with, if you really look into it, I'm not going to put words in anybody's mouths, but like you can look into it and say maybe I agree with 25% of what Donald Trump says, and I agree with 75% of what Hillary Clinton says. And you're left with the choice of like, oh, I'm just going to vote for Hillary Clinton and I'm going to lose out on that 25%. But really, there are candidates out there who are going to match your idea of what a good leader would look like exactly. You just it's a little bit of extra footwork. You got to do a little bit of research, but I would definitely say do it. Now, with all that being said, please vote.
For Jay-Z.
Ho. They call him Hova.
Ho for president.
Yeah.
Straight out of Marcy into the White House.
So that's kind of one of the things I want to talk about there. And really quick, just want to drop this on the last note we have here because we're going to throw out our Twitter stuff. But I do want to mention something about Twitter. I do want to mention something about Twitter. So if you go to #7fave YouTubers, and I'm going to drop that.
#7fave.
Yeah, I'm going to drop that hashtag in there. You can actually throw us up on Twitter. You can actually use my Twitter handle on there, which is @Justin_Rising. You can use Rodimus's
ROC213. YSL.
Right. And you can actually throw us up there on
hashtag
7, the letter 7, the number, Jesus.
The number 7.
The number 7, Fave YouTubers. Yeah, so I'm gonna drop the little picture up in there. I'll probably put it like right there.
Put us up there, man.
Put it right there. Yeah, you can put me and Rodimus on there. It'd be cool to see. I'm looking forward to that. And I think next week. Rodimus isn't too sure about it, but
I'm sure.
We're gonna try and do some confidence.
I'm sure.
Oh, sure. Okay. Damn. So we're gonna do some confidence building exercise. It's one specific confidence building exercise. You guys want to check that out because chances are one of us are probably going to break our hand.
So, why was the laptop tired when he came out of his car?
Because he had a hard drive, bro.
That shit is so whack.
Anyway, that is all we have for you. Please check it out on hashtag 7fave YouTubers. I'm gonna drop that in there. You can check me at Justin_Rising. Rodimus at
ROC213YSL.
And the rest of the information will be down at the end of the video. Please like, comment,
subscribe, comment, share it with a friend, with a friend, with a friend, with a friend, with a friend.
And please like the video if you actually kind of like this format or you want to see some more of this.
Share it on your Facebook too.
And that too. That is all we have.
Peace and love, guys.